Hello, everybody. It's your boy, the Fantasy Almanac here, back at it with another draft video. Today we're launching into a draft. We got the 105. Always good to see the 105. I'm good with the 101, 102, 103, 104, and 105. All phenomenal picks. Uh, we probably should be getting somebody like Jamar Chase here, would be the hope. And then maybe we can pair him up with a little Joe Burrow, something like that. But here we have Greeley, John So, T Shot, and just a guy we're drafting against. uh, so it should be a nice time. Hopefully, one of them lets one of these top four guys fall a little bit. Whether that be Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, or Justin Jefferson. I assume I'm not getting Jonathan Taylor. I don't think I've ever seen him fall to 5. I don't think I've ever seen him fall past 3. Christian McCaffrey does go 1. We're already starting off pretty hot. Jonathan Taylor goes 2, which means we'll take any of these 3 wide receivers. I'm not mad with any of the 3 of them. I feel like ever since I started doing these drafts online, I've been getting picks 5 through 7 a lot recently. Picks 5, pick 6, pick 7. Ending up with a lot of wide receivers too, whether that be Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, or Jamar Chase. And then Diggs a little bit too. Najee Harris, oh my God, Najee Harris goes off the board, and Cooper Kupp, which means we get to our guy, Justin Jefferson here. We're taking Justin Jefferson at the 105. Oh my God, that is awesome. Wow, Najee Harris the 103. T-Shot decides to surprise everyone and go Najee Harris. So we do get Justin Jefferson. Austin Eckler. Wow, Jay Steezy. Probably going to end up with Jamar Chase here. Jamar Chase at the 107. Oh my God. Can't ask for much better draft than that. I actually had that happen to me once where I got Justin Jefferson. Not even Jamar Chase. Justin Jefferson at the 107. That was just mind-blowing. So here we do have Austin Eckler go at the 106. Derrick Henry going at the 108. And then we got Mikey C taking Stephon Diggs at the 109. Dalvin Cook goes at the 110. People are drafting pretty quick here. I'm not gonna lie. People are storming through their picks. Oh my God. So this lobby looks like it could be a little bit more running back heavy. At least with the first 3 picks. The rest of these picks are fairly standard, but we might have to worry about getting running backs kind of early if there are these running backs going off the board. But also maybe there can be value falling to us at the wide receiver. If we're 6 picks away, I will take any of these 6 players on the board right now, or Debo. And then there is, in my opinion, a tier break on best ball. I think that CeeDee Lamb going at the 202 here. That's about fair. There's kind of a tier break after Debo Samuel and Leonard Fournette. I do think there is an even greater tier break between Leonard Fournette and T. Higgins, though. Aaron Jones does go off the board here at the 203, then DeAndre Swift at the 204. There's a plethora of players that I like here. There's 4 players that I like, and we are 3 picks away, meaning we're guaranteed one of these 4. Whoever drops, I'm fine with. So let's see. I still can't believe that Najee Harris pick at the 103. Oh my God. So whether we get Mark Andrews, Saquon, or Debo here, I'm fine with it. Hopefully these guys pick, the other 2. I really have no preference here. Maybe I guess Saquon would be the one I'd want the most, or Debo. But either way, can't be too mad. MV has a running back. He goes Tyreek Hill. Now that kind of puts us in a little bit of a bind. We did take Debo in the last time we got Justin Jefferson, so I think Saquon is probably the move here. Because we get a guy like we diversify our team a little bit. We gotta have more exposures. So we get Justin Jefferson and Saquon Barkley, which is a really good team combination here. I do like it a lot. Starting off with 2 phenomenal players. So Justin Jefferson and Saquon Barkley, and then T Higgins. Wow, just a guy in 503. I'm shocked he didn't take Debo. Oh my God, that's a wild pick. Wow. Cooper Kupp and T. Higgins, though, I think that is an interesting selection, but I think the thing is, when you get a guy like Cooper Kupp, and you have the opportunity to take somebody like Debo, there's a lot of, oh my God, and sorry for cutting myself off here, but T. Schlatt 85 is really just getting his guys. Wow. I can't see Debo lasting much longer than this. I'm actually shocked at what's going on. I think just a guy probably should have had the Cooper Cup Debo stack because you get oh my god because you get Cooper Cup and Debo together like that's a combo that not many teams have. Here, there's a few guys in mine up, mainly Nick Chubb, mainly really just Nick Chubb. If I could get Nick Chubb, oh my god, Nick Chubb does go off the board. I think I'm going to be scooping the value with Alvin Kamara here, even though he obviously does have the suspension concerns. Probably will be suspended 6 games. I still think Alvin Kamara is a very talented running back, and it is possible he's not suspended at all. So if that is the case, I mean, or if he's suspended 4 games, let's say they'll lighten the sentence, they're not going to make it worse than it is. I don't think, unless evidence leaks that makes it significantly more damning for Alvin Kamara. Michael Pittman goes here at 306. I think we made the right pick with Alvin Kamara. We do have 2 phenomenal running backs and a wide receiver that can carry us. So here, just looking at the draft board, it's a pretty healthy mix of running backs and wide receivers. No quarterbacks off the board yet, which is a little interesting. I do see Josh Allen going off the board kind of soon. I can't really justify taking Josh Allen at 29 when you do have a talented player like Alvin Kamara on the board, and I could get somebody like Justin Herbert at 44 around later, where the point drop off is not really bad at all. Josh Allen does go at the 33, pairing Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. It is a pretty smart thing to do to pair Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, but I do think there are so many teams pairing Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen that you're really not having a unique team combination. And in a league like this, where there is $2 million on the line, I think unique team combinations are almost more valuable than getting stacks. In my opinion, I've seen a lot of people try and go for stacks. I think stacks are useful if value falls to you, but I don't think reaching on a stack is ever a good idea. Not to say that this guy reached on a stack, Mikey C, but I do think it is possible that a lot of people do reach, and I mean I'm fine with it for me because hey, if I think they're making a stupid decision, I'm trying to make as much money as I can, so I'm good with it. But just looking at the draft board here, Kyle Pitts goes at the 311, Zeke at the 312, Deontay Johnson 401. Here I'm assuming we're gonna end up with somebody like Jerry Jeudy at pick 44. I would be fine with Breece Hall too. Just get 3 absolutely tear-ass running backs, or Jalen Waddle as well. Either way, can't be too mad. Travis Etienne even. I'm 4 picks away, and there's lots of players I really like, so can't be too mad. Gabe Davis going off at 403. Oh my god. People are becoming absolutely ecstatic on Gabe Davis. Marquise Hollywood Brown going at the 402. I definitely like the Marquise pick. Terry McLaurin going at pick 40. I personally can't justify taking Terry McLaurin, although, what's his ADP? His ADP has been skyrocketing, 41.6. That is pretty high. People have been drafting him a lot higher. Me, I probably won't own too much Terry McLaurin this year. I don't know why. It might just be more of a personal thing, but I'm not really too much of a fan of Terry McLaurin. I think he is a pretty overrated wide receiver. Allen Robinson going at the 405. This has been an absolutely bonkers draft. Travis Etienne. We can get Jalen Waddle here potentially. Oh my god. If we get a guy like Jalen Waddle here, that would be awesome. This guy's Austin Eckler, Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle does go here. Can't be too mad. Jalen Waddle is a very, very talented wide receiver. Here, I think we will go with Cam Akers. I think Cam Akers probably is the pick here. We get 3 insane running backs. And although we probably will not end up with a guy like Jerry Jeudy coming back to us, it is possible. 1 and 2. It is possible we can get a guy like Brandon Cooks or Rashad Bateman around later, which is really nice. Cam Akers is a phenomenal running back. And as we saw, Cam Akers tearing his Achilles in the first week of the season, or preseason, I forget which one, and comes back week 17, gets a carry, then comes back for the playoffs, and they force feed him the ball. Wasn't very efficient, but what can you expect? The guy tore his Achilles. The guy tore his freaking Achilles. And they come back and give him touches right away. They have confidence in him. They want him to be the running back 1. What more can you ask for? We saw how much Todd Gurley was force-fed in that offense when he was the running back one. And now Cam Akers takes that same position with a better quarterback. So here we have Darren Waller and George Kittle going off the board, and David Montgomery at pick 47. So a pretty huge run on wide receivers. I wanted to be the one to end that run with Jalen Waddle, but alas, it didn't happen. So we start a run of our own. We have a running back. Probably some running backs will go off the board here. I'd imagine Breece Hall does not make it back to us. Justin Herbert doesn't make it back to us, as Breece Hall does get taken. DK Metcalf does go off the board as well. There are a few quarterbacks here that could be intriguing choices. Generally, I don't like reaching on quarterbacks too much, but here it is possible considering there is so much value on the board, and this will be scooped up pretty soon. I imagine T-Shot. T-Shot is a very unique strategy, so I don't know. I don't know exactly what he's going to do, but I'm going to get my guy, Jerry Jeudy, or if not, one of these quarterbacks. Whichever one makes it to us, or even Rashad Bateman. I'm actually kind of torn. Honestly, I do think getting value at QB is probably the best idea here. Just a guy at 503, probably, he doesn't have a quarterback, he does have 3 wide receivers, but a lot of these guys, especially the experienced guys, they do like drafting wide receivers, and that's exactly what they do. So we probably will take a guy. I'm kind of torn here. I think I am going to go Patrick Mahomes here. Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league. It's pretty much undebatable. So we're going to go get Pat Mahomes. I was torn between taking him. Lamar is obviously very good too. Lamar obviously has more rushing upside than Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback and more consistent. So I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes here. So here we do see this quarterback run kind of regroup. Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Glad to be the beneficiary or something like that. Getting Patrick Mahomes. Although I don't like taking quarterbacks too early generally. I do think that a lot of these wide receivers probably will be gone by the time we get to pick 68, which is a little concerning. 2 wide receivers do go off the board, although a little earlier than ADP for Chris Godwin. J.K. Dobbins is off the board as well. I'm a little concerned that guys like Antonio Gibson, A.J. Dillon probably will fall to us, whereas Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman won't. They definitely won't. I mean, there's pretty much no way they fall to us. But we can get value. Somebody like Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Devonta Smith. We're going to need to do a pretty heavy wide receiver build here. Although we do have Justin Jefferson carrying the bulk. We do have great running backs to not have to worry about our flex spot as much. We are going to need to draft probably 9 receivers here. But the good thing is we can draft 2 QBs and get away with it. Totally fine. We can potentially get Dalton Schultz and draft 2 tight ends here, which is totally fine. Hopefully we will get Dalton Schultz, although we would have to be getting him ahead of ADP. I remember Dalton Schultz was going ADP of 78, and now he's getting pushed up to an ADP of 66. I'm a little concerned that Dalton Schultz is starting to become overvalued. I do really, really like Dalton Schultz, but going 15 picks behind George Kittle and Darren Waller, at this point it is a little concerning, I'm not going to lie. I do hope we get him here. I own a ton of Dalton Schultz. I had him last year. I think he's a very talented tight end. And he gets the ball. Really, the thing it comes down to is the fact that Dak Prescott loves him. He was throwing it to him every week. Every week. It was crazy. I mean, 800 yards, 104 targets, in an offense that had CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. 104 targets. Now Amari Cooper leaves. I think it's a really, really good opportunity. His running backs here are all over the board. Oh my god. Running backs here are all over. It pains me a little bit because we do have 3 amazing running backs. It is a little painful. But hopefully here, Josh Jacobs goes. It's really the only running back I would even consider just because we are getting such massive value on him. But I think he will go here. He should at least. If not, I think I would have to take Josh Jacobs and then go an insanely RB heavy build. But hopefully Dalton Schultz does fall to us, and he does. Let's go. So now we only have to take 2 tight ends and 2 quarterbacks and focus primarily now on building our wide receiver room up. So here we have a pretty heavy run on wide receivers, Rashad Bateman all the way to Elijah Moore. And then you see a running back run going now that a lot of value has fallen. Elijah Mitchell, A.J. Dillon, Antonio Gibson, Josh Jacobs. All these running backs did fall, which is a little unfortunate for us because we wanted some wide receiver value to fall. But that doesn't matter now. We should have somebody like a Russell Gage or DeAndre Hopkins, Drake London, any of these guys. I do like all three of these guys a lot. So as long as one of them falls, I would be pretty happy. If not, I could even consider taking Joe Burrow and just having ridiculous QBs and making people, a little nervous for their QB selections. I think there is some merit to taking guys that might not raise the ceiling of your team as much, like a Joe Burrow here, to kind of cause a stir. But it doesn't look like we're going to have to do that. I think probably Drake London here or DeAndre Hopkins. I'm kind of torn. I think both of them are pretty much the same. DeAndre Hopkins obviously has more talent, but Drake London probably will be receiving a higher target share. And DeAndre Hopkins does go off the board here. All right, so I'm either torn between Joe Burrow or Drake London. Whoever just the guy doesn't choose. Let's see who he goes with. He does go Joe Burrow, so we will take Drake London here. Drake London to be our wide receiver too. It is a little concerning. I'm not gonna lie, but we do have pluses at pretty much every other position. We have a plus at quarterback. We have about an average tight end. We have some of the best running backs in the league, if not the best running back core in the league. So I think it is okay to have some worse wide receivers, especially when you do have a guy like Justin Jefferson, the top 3 receiver, no doubt, undoubtedly a top 3 receiver in the league. I mean, I would say in terms of talent, he's the second best wide receiver in the league. Probably, honestly, even you can make a case for one. I would say he could be the most talented wide receiver in the league. He's had the most successful first 2 seasons we've ever seen from a wide receiver. So here we do have a little bit of a running back run happening, loose running back run with Jalen Hurts all the way to Joe Burrow. And then you kind of see a tier break there. Although Aaron Rodgers and all them are still very talented. I guess actually Trey Lance as well. I think after this there is kind of a tier break. Trey Lance does have the ability to become an insane QB1, but at the same time, he hasn't played a full NFL game. Or I think he played actually one half of a full NFL game. 71 attempts. That's 3 games worth of sample. Pretty much nothing. So I don't think Trey Lance really has the sample size to excel him to a guy like Jalen Hurts just yet. But obviously, once he does get that sample size and hopefully proves that he is a great QB, he will he will be drafted as a top 3 QB next year if he does perform even somewhat well. It's the Konami code of QBs at this point. The rushing upside and the passing. Oh my god, it's actually crazy. I may actually be eyeing somebody like Trey Lance here. If they're going to let quarterback value fall, especially all the way to pick 92, when Trey Lance is going at pick 84. And Pat Mahomes and him both have a different buy. So if I can get a guy like Trey Lance here, I definitely will. Dak Prescott goes off the board. There's a few guys I would be happy with. I mean, I'm 5 picks away, so I probably won't get him, but I'd be fine with any of this top 4, aside from maybe Clyde, because I already have 3 great running backs, but Clyde still would be a good pickup. Even Damian Harris here, I like. Clyde does go off the board here. I'll be fine with any of these top 3. I really, really would be. I really want Trey Lance, because that way I have 2 absolutely insane QBs. But also TJ Hawkinson, a TJ Hawkinson Dalton Schultz pairing would be awesome. There's a lot of interesting players on the board right now. Again, we have a wide receiver run going at the end of rounds. This keeps happening where it's like the block right here. These last 4 guys taking wide receivers all in a row. It is kind of funny. Trey Lance does go off the board, unfortunately, along with Dawson Knox, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Dak, and Kareem Hunt. We are 2 picks away now, so I'm going to go back to here. I'm hoping for TJ Hawkinson here. That would be really good, and TJ Hawkinson does fall to us. So now we have 2 pretty sizable tight ends. Like, we have 2 completely average tight ends, which honestly is kind of cool. I kind of like that. I don't usually do that too often, but here having 2 completely average tight ends, 3 really strong running backs, and a good quarterback. I actually do really like the build of this team. And now I'm hoping to get probably, I mean, I would hope Matt Stafford here, because quarterbacks have been falling. I would hope Matt Stafford, and maybe cause a quarterback run in the future. Uh, because although I do like a lot of these guys, I think the guys I get here versus the guys I can get in the next round aren't really too much different. Garrett Wilson, I could take Christian Watson, Michael Gallup, Rondell Moore. I like about the same as Tyler Lockett and Sky Moore. Sky Moore I might like a little bit more, especially with the Patrick Mahomes stack. Actually, that is pretty interesting. I didn't even really think about that. Sky Moore could be somebody I take here due to the stack. Hmm, that's an interesting choice. All right, well, we'll see when we get there. There are still two people to pick in front of me, so Sky Moore might be off the board, and Matt Stafford might be off the board, putting us in a real bind. Probably won't happen, but it is possible. We have kind of seen a little run on wide receivers, too. Wide receivers keep flying off this board. I mean, this has been a drift where wide receivers just keep getting pushed up. Matt Stafford does go off the board here, so we will take Sky Moore. So now we do have three awesome wide receivers. I mean, of course, two of them are rookies. We have a very young wide receiver core, but I think that is a good thing. I do really like this wide receiver core, especially with Pat Mahomes. Uh, so now I would hope to get somebody like Garrett Wilson, somebody like Christian Watson in the next round. Hopefully another, especially now that Aaron Rodgers does go off the board here, so there really is no other QBs in that same tier. You can make an argument that Derek Carr should belong in that tier, and I wouldn't disagree necessarily, but it just doesn't feel right to me at this point. Although Derek Carr did have 4,800 yards and I think like 35 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. 23. Whoa, I was way off. Oh my God. 23 and 14. But his team was an absolute mess. So I will give him credit. But I don't think that this stat line right now, with no rushing upside, really warrants to be in the same tier as somebody like Aaron Rodgers. So we are seeing running backs go off the board here, which is what we like to see. 4 running backs in a row here. And now Derek Carr does go off the board. So now we're just getting running backs and quarterbacks, which we could have expected because these guys have been eating up wide receivers recently. So it is good. We will get some more wide receiver value, whether that be Garrett Wilson, Chase Claypool, Christian Watson, any of the like. I would really be fine with any of them. Irv Smith, wow, going at the 10:03. Oh my God, that's wow. That is a wild reach. Oh my God. Thank you. I will say this now. Thank you, Kyle Oz, for your $25. Means a lot. Thank you so much. He's really liking this Minnesota stack. I'm sorry for robbing you. Oh, Christian Watson goes off the board here. Somebody I was really hoping for. Now, I'm thinking Michael Gallup here. I'm really eyeing on Michael Gallup. As long as he's using snipes, and he isn't. Michael Gallup is somebody, I mean, it is kind of a risk to take somebody like Michael Gallup, because of course he is going to be injured to start the season most likely. But I did read a report as of yesterday that he should be eligible to attend training camp. I mean, actually, I don't know if that's true, but I think he, even if he does miss the first couple of weeks, Michael Gallup should ascend as the wide receiver too, and we will take somebody like James Washington as well in the last round. Make sure that we do have a lot of this Dallas offense, even though we don't have Dak. That could have been a nice pick. So now in the next round, we're just gonna hope for somebody like Rondell Moore. We hope this wide receiver run does not continue. I mean, seriously, this is what 6 wide receivers in a row. It does suck that we're on the back end of this run here, but hopefully we can double up and get somebody decent. Hopefully, we get some value to fall to us. I mean, a lot of these guys do have tons of wide receivers. Greeley has tons of wide receivers, especially. Uh, oh my God, both these teams have tons of wide receivers. All these teams in front of me have tons of wide receivers. I'm the one with the least. I have the most fleshed out team, which is usually the opposite. I'm usually the one drafting all these wide receivers. Chase Edmonds does go off the board. Zach Ertz. We are looking for more of these guys to go off the board. Alex, oh wow, it's a really good thing we got these tight ends early. Both at values too. Both at huge values, especially TJ Hawkinson. Dalton Schultz not really, but we did get these guys at values, and now we can take Rondell Moore. Wow, this draft is turning out really well for us. 3 strong running backs, 5 wide receivers that I have confidence in, 2 great tight ends, and the best quarterback in the league. Oh my God, this draft is actually turning out so well for us. This draft is turning out really well. At first, I was a little concerned with the Saquon pick. I mean, I wonder how this team would really have played out if I had taken Deebo Samuel going all the way at pick 25. But if I had taken Deebo Samuel at pick 20, I wonder how this draft would have played out. I probably would have still taken Kamara. I probably would have still taken Cam Akers. I probably would have taken Pat Mahomes. Then here, I probably would have been praying Josh Jacobs or Antonio Gibson fell to us. And when that didn't happen, I don't know what I would have done. I think it would have turned out a little different. I might have taken somebody like AJ Dillon. Uh, then here I would have been Tua would have been pretty pissed. I would have been hoping for Damian Harris. I think the Saquon Barkley pick is actually what made this draft so good in hindsight now, because it allowed us the flexibility to only take three running backs here, whereas now we could have the flexibility to take Dalton Schultz to get Patrick Mahomes, and then hope for wide receiver value later, which is exactly what happened. We got supreme wide receiver value later, in my opinion. I don't get why Sky Moore has been falling so much in drafts. Same thing with a lot of these rookie wide receivers. A lot of the rookie wide receivers have been falling off a cliff. I figured it would be the opposite. I mean, this is my first time really doing Best Ball Mania, so maybe it's just due to inexperience, but I really thought these rookie wide receivers would be pushed up to their limits. I guess that's not the case. Uh, so I guess just talking about the draft board now, we have Jarvis Landry going after us. I think that's a pretty substantial drop off. Although Jarvis Landry is going to be operating as one of the only wide receivers in his offense, especially if Michael Thomas is not playing. I mean, it's Jarvis Landry. He's probably like 33 years old. He's a shell of his former self. Justin Fields and Tua. I mean, again, I say this every time. They're like two peas in a pod. They're completely different, and in completely different situations. But I think they're them two are in a tier of their own as the most mid quarterbacks. Uh, Jamison Crowder, Dameon Pierce, Rashad White, Mike Gesicki, and then three wide receivers straight. Oh my God, I'm so glad we did not we did not wait to get our tight ends. Oh, thank God. Here, damn, I did not even start really looking. Oh shit. Um, I may join the hype here. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna join the hype. I'm gonna join the hype. Joshua Palmer joining the hype. We get another wide receiver, which is good. We get a guy with a lot of boom potential, and that gives us our sixth wide receiver. I do really, really like this team. I'm thinking about going somebody like Daniel Jones later in this draft, maybe at pick 149, but I don't really want to reach. I'm thinking pick 160. Oh, 164 is not. Daniel Jones is not going to be there at 164 most likely. We did get caught at the end of another wide receiver run, which is kind of annoying. A lot of wide receivers have been going off in the back half of this round now. But it is good. We finally get our wide receivers. We have now a pretty solid wide receiver core. A lot of young guys, a lot of guys with that you have your fingers crossed for more so than have put up real production in the NFL, aside from Michael Gallup and Justin Jefferson. But it is nice. It's kind of like a hero wide receiver strategy where we have insane running backs, three insane running backs, and then a hero wide receiver, two average tight ends just to fill out, and a great quarterback, another hero quarterback, I guess, so to speak. So here, we're kind of in an interesting position where we probably should get another running back. Now, I'm kind of hoping Mark Ingram will fall to us. Actually, I should star him. He has been climbing up draft boards steadily. See if I can get him. And then I don't really want somebody who probably just went off the board, or if not, Darrell Henderson. I don't even know. Yep, one pick before me. I just can't justify taking a backup like Darrell Henderson that early, even with the ACL tear. Or the torn Achilles for Cam Akers. I just can't do it really, unless you're taking over an offense and you're going to become a complete workhorse. You're getting 20 touches a game. The efficiency is not much different. I can't justify it. Like Alexander Madison's different. Here, I'm gonna go Jalen Tolbert. We're gonna go Jalen Tolbert here. We have seen a few, two more quarterbacks go off the board here. A lot of running backs. going off the board. It is good to secure tons of wide receivers in the position we're in at this point because we're running the hero strategy, and any of these wide receivers can pop off in a given week. A lot of rookies, three rookies, three people without pictures. That is okay. That's fine. Oh, we do get Jalen Tolbert here, which is nice. We see two more tight ends go off the board. Running back, Matt Ryan. I'm hoping for Daniel Jones. I'm really hoping for Daniel Jones here. Never mind. Uh, Now I guess we are hoping for Zach Wilson, or we could wait on somebody like Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. Although I don't really want to. I think it is probably the best course of action to wait at this point now. Um, Now we're probably gonna be targeting somebody like Tyler Algier, Tyrion Davis Price. Hope more of these tight ends get pushed up the board as they have been. Hope more of these running backs get pushed up. Or no, hope for these QBs to get pushed up off the board now because I really just don't care about them anymore. We have Pat Mahomes. That's good enough. Tyler Algier goes off the board now. Corey Davis. Um, Hunter Henry, Robert Tonyan, Gus Edwards, Matt Ryan, Daniel Jones, Khalil Herbert, Tyler Algier, Corey Davis. So we do have a lot of these running backs coming off the board yet again. Tyrion Davis Price does go. This guy doubles up Khalil Herbert and Tyrion Davis Price. Now I say we just wait till I don't know. Maybe we could go with Marlon Mack, or maybe we wait around to get him. Pick 173, his ADP is 176. I say we wait around. Although it is a little scary waiting around for somebody who will be serving serious time for our team. I think it probably is the best course of action. I'm not trying to reach on him. I'm not trying to reach on 33-year-old, the corpse of Mark Ingram. Here, I don't know. I really don't want DJ Chark. I don't at all. But DJ Chark will be walking into some serious work. I don't want Marvin Jones either. I don't want Darrell Williams. I don't know. Honestly, I can make a case for Zach Wilson here. I think Zach Wilson probably should be the pick. Secure a second QB, so I don't have to worry nearly as much. The only problem is he doesn't really stack with anybody, but I don't like any of these wide receivers enough to where I could justify it. I mean, maybe George Pickens, but George Pickens could easily fall to us in the next round. A lot of these wide receivers definitely can, like Alec Pierce, George Pickens. I'm not really too big on Sammy Watkins. I don't really understand the Sammy Watkins. I guess it is a little different now that he's with Green Bay versus a team like the Ravens, but me personally, I'm not too big of a fan. Robbie Anderson's probably. Oh, I didn't even think about it. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. Oh, man. Okay. I screwed up a little bit taking Zach Wilson here. I probably should have taken Baker Mayfield. Waited this round, waited next round, and taken Baker Mayfield. I'm not too mad, I guess. I'll take him at 197 if he's somehow still there. Because now I only need two QBs, two tight ends. Now it's pretty much just taking wide receivers, taking running backs. Oh man, here if George Pickens is still on the board, I don't know. I don't think I should take him. I really want to take George Pickens here, but Mark Ingram is the smart pick, especially because I won't be picking again until 188. Or I could get somebody like Wan'Dale Robinson. I think I gotta go Mark Ingram here, even though, oh man, even though I really want George Pickens. Oh man, I'm taking Mark Ingram here. I think it's probably the best strategy. Take Mark Ingram. Now we have three phenomenal RBs and one plug-in option. We're gonna go four RBs here. We're gonna go 10 wide receivers. Unless Baker's here, pick 9 at 197. We're gonna go 10 wide receivers. Oh my god. All right, my philosophy with running back too is like if running backs get injured, like let's say Saquon Barkley gets injured, right? I don't think having a backup from another team is really gonna accelerate my process at all. Like the thing is, if any of these running backs get injured, my season is pretty much done in terms of winning the $2 million. I could care less about winning the league and winning $35. My season is done if any of these running backs get injured. So why really draft backups unless you're Mark Ingram I mean, I guess it's different if you're drafting somebody like Alexander Madison, like people who could get starter touches and be very efficient if the starting running back gets injured. But there are few running backs out there like that. Very, very few. Here we have a lot of diversity on the board here. We have pretty much two of everything. We just need one more QB, and we'll have three wide receivers, two running backs, two tight ends, and one QB here. Now another running back does go up the board. Wan'Dale Robinson does go too, which is a little unfortunate. George Pickens, what the heck is going on? Did something happen that I just didn't read? This is crazy. All right, so if we could get George Pickens here, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Oh my god, I would scream, I would shout, I'll let it all out. Come on, give us George Pickens. Give us George Pickens here. Give us George Pickens. We'll be a-okay. George Pickens goes to Jay Steezy. F you, Jay Steezy. You're a fucking asshole. Uh, here, there is a massive, massive drop off at wide receiver. I really don't like any of these options. I have 12 seconds. I'm going to go Julio Jones here. Julio Jones could end up on a team like the Packers, could end up on a team like the Ravens. If that does happen, Julio Jones' value will skyrocket. Same thing. I mean, looking at Will Fuller, it's kind of a similar situation where Will Fuller will be able to drop you 50-point weeks. I didn't really like any of the options here. That's why I went with Julio, but it is possible. Julio is a complete bust and doesn't even get signed. But I think, I mean, you figure at least one team's got to take a shot on Julio Jones, the second best wide receiver of our generation, and it's not even debatable, unless you count if you count Calvin Johnson, then it's debatable. Then it would be he'd be the third, but second best receiver. He had a shit year last year, but so did Ryan Tannehill. It is possible a team will take a shot on him. Something will stir up. I mean, if a team's taking a shot on a guy like Baker Mayfield, can't ask for much more than that. Sorry, 1 second. John Mechie does go off the board here, as well as Kendrick Bourne. Here we really, really, really are hoping for Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield can somehow get to us, I'm not too big of a fan of taking three QBs when you get a guy like Pat Mahomes. But Baker Mayfield's too much of a value to pass up on compared to everyone else. He's obviously going to have the starting job. And he was playing injured last year at the end of the day. There are a lot of quarterbacks still on the board, though, so maybe not, honestly. Maybe I don't go. Maybe I get somebody like Donta Foreman. Honestly, that's probably the best course of action. Even though Baker is probably the big brain pick, Donta Foreman's probably the right pick for the team. Yeah, we're gonna go Donta Foreman here. Unless this guy goes down to Foreman, then we'll rage pick Baker Mayfield, but he doesn't. So now we have 5 running backs, 8 wide receivers. This is a pretty good build. I actually do really like this team a lot. One of the best builds I've put together in a while. I do. I really, really like this team. I mean, this team is really, really strong. Um, Honestly, I don't know what QB Baker's gonna go up to. I would have him ahead of Honestly, I'd probably have him right behind. No, I don't know. I don't have to think about this. I'm gonna probably put together a video in the next couple days, assessing Baker and the whole Panthers situation. But for right now, I need to do a little more research into exactly who Baker was last year. He's pretty shit, but in terms of what kind of hampered him and everything. So I guess we'll see. I mean, 17 and 13 is just a terrible year for a quarterback. Absolutely awful year. And Baker doesn't really have too much rushing upside. None of these quarterbacks do besides Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson may be eradicated off the face of the fantasy football platform, but if he's only suspended a half a season, he won't be. He definitely won't be. His ADP will go skyrocketing back to. I mean, I would probably have him in the same tier, right below Tua at that point. So I think we are going to take Deshaun Watson here, unless tons of wide receiver value falls. Hmm. I think I probably will go. Oh man, Deshaun Watson does go here, so no more Deshaun Watson hopes. Any of these three QBs would be fine. But probably will go James Washington here. Just monopolize the second the second Dallas wide receiver, whoever goes off on any given day. Actually, I don't know. It might be better to grab a third QB considering that Zach Wilson's really not that strong, and I do want to compensate for any of Pat Mahomes off weeks. I mean, I do definitely like this team a lot. I really do. This was definitely an interesting draft. The last two rounds, a lot of really just like dog shit players go off the board here. David Bell, um, just players that like have no business even staying in the NFL for much longer. But I don't know, honestly. Probably I will go Jared Goff here. I think Jared Goff's the right pick. I don't usually like, I don't know. Taking three QBs when you have a guy like Pat Mahomes is a little nonsensical, I guess, but I think it's probably the best option here. I mean, we really have nothing else to pick from. We're picking between absolutely terrible wide receivers. Um, but that about does it. Thank you guys again so much for watching the Fantasy Almanac. Please, if you could go down to the comments, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how much of an idiot I am in the comments. Tell me all the bad picks I made. Uh, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I hope you guys have a really nice day.